Dear Girl Quest Books, and I just finished reading George Lucas' A Life by Brian J. Jones. This was published in 2016. It's about 475 pages, so there's quite a bit in here to get through, and it only goes to 2016. So we only really get into like the last chapter, the Disney acquisition and The Force Awakens, and that's about it. So this is getting close to 10 years old. However, if you're a fan of Star Wars and Indiana Jones like myself, or anything of George Lucas's, definitely worth the read. I mean, I've been a fan for as long as I can remember. I've watched behind the scenes stuff, and even though some of this wasn't news to me, there is a lot in here that I learned about George Lucas, the man, his early life, you know, his career choices, some things that didn't pan out, some things like it was a good read. Learning about him, his process. There are some laughs in here, so especially when you get to towards the end here, George Lucas kind of the revision of some of the things, like, I always planned it to be this way, some of that was pretty funny. Yeah, great read. I really enjoyed this. And I chose to read this even though I had this on my TBR list for a while, and I've had this physical book for 2-3 months. It's kind of been sitting around. I'm really excited for the George Lucas Museum. A little bit of news has been coming out. I've been hoping for more. But I decided, this is the time. Like, I'm hyped for the museum. There's some Star Wars news coming out. Why not just go ahead and read this and hold me over until hopefully more. And yeah, I'm actually hoping, because this was published in 2016 and this is full of really good information, the last bit is kind of just speeds through that era of when he sold it. I'm hoping that eventually there's like a second edition or something that covers until then, because the museum, it kind of mentions that sort of thing, but the museum's going to happen, or supposed to be open in 2026. So hopefully when that's done, like, I would love to see a second edition from 2016 to whenever, because this was such a fun read. I learned a lot, and it kind of reinvigorated me to get into some Star Wars stuff, which I'm reading Death Troopers next because it's Halloween. But yeah, great read. Couldn't suggest it more. If you've read it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. This is Dear Girl Quest Books. Thanks for hanging out.